Good morning, construction. So the last wall that I want to talk to you about is a wall that is not fully 8 feet long. So what do you do if you have a wall that's not 8 feet? So when you think about it, not all walls are going to be 8 feet. You're going to have in your house that you're living in, or wherever you're living, or the house that you're working on right here, not all your walls are divided by 8. Also, not all your walls in the house that you live in are divided by 16. It's not like every single wall that you in where you're living or where you're sitting right now are divided by 16. So there's some times where the walls aren't on 16s on center, and I'll show you how that works out. Okay, so I'm going to flip this down for sort of a partial wall. There we go. All right, so I have this wall that's going to be going here, and I move this over slightly just so you can see, just to use this as an example. So now I need to put a wall in between here. We already have the wall with the window. We did the wall with the door. Now we need to put a partial wall in here. And when I measure across there, that's 5 inches because I want my wall to go right to that point right there. From there to there, that's 5 inches. And when I come on to my layout board here, I notice that 5 inches is going to be coming in right there. That's not right on one of the 16s on center, but we can still do this. I'll show you how. It's actually pretty straightforward. So I'm going to cut out my top and bottom plate because there's no window in here. So I do need a bottom plate, full bottom plate. I'm going to cut out my top and bottom plate right at 5 inches. Okay, so now I have my top and bottom plate, and I just measured again from there to there and found that that was 5 inches. So when I put my top plate on there, or my bottom plate, either one, they both measure out at 5 inches. They're going to fit right in between that spot. Now again, 5 inches isn't right on 16 inches on center, but we can still build walls that aren't 16 inches fully on center. And simply how we're going to do that is, on any wall, you always need to have 2 outer studs. You have to have the wall captured by your 2 outer studs. You need a top plate and a bottom plate to hold it together, then the other framing members, stud members in between here. So I know that I'm going to need a stud there. I know I'm going to need a stud. I'm going to have to put a stud there, but I'm also then just going to mark here at 16, 32, and 48. Then I'm just going to move my other stud down here, or my top plate, and also mark it at 16, 32, and 48. And again, I'm going to need a stud there and a stud there. So that's simply how you do it. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8-foot studs. So I can grab those right here when I put this together. So I'm going to just be putting this together like so. And then this last one isn't on 16 inches on center, but every other one is on 16 inches on center. So then I just put my top plate on top here, move those in line, and that right to the end. So we have 16 inches on center for these ones. This one's about 12 inches on center, but that's okay. That's all the rest of them are lining up 16 inches on center, so this stays within standards. All right, so that's simply how you do a partial wall, one that isn't fully 8 feet long, or one that isn't divisible by 16 there.